They just celebrated their 45th anniversary, and in that time, they've been home to thousands of animals, including 40 endangered species. You see, the annual Iron Chef competition, which is hosted by UM's Teaching Kitchen, used to be featured in Mahoney Pearson before moving its way all the way across campus into these state-of-the-art facilities back in 2024. Yeah, Taryn, the Miami International Auto Show is continuing on bringing together automakers and fans to celebrate the innovation of the automotive industry. See, behind me is a typical house you might see in an area like District 2. Modest, single-family homes that have been around the area for generations. However, with rising property income and surrounding pressure from other areas, houses in the area might go from looking like this to houses that look a little bit more like this one. Andres, for many in South Florida, a food truck is a convenient way of getting a quick meal. However, the Square Bowl food truck, located in Fort Lauderdale, is giving members of a certain community the opportunity to join the workforce for the first time in a positive way. And right here is one of the only places where people of all ages can come in and actually interact one-on-one with the animals. And right behind me, automotive fans and attendants are lining up to hop in one of these new models for the first ever electronic vehicle test track right here at Miami Beach. And here in Miami, residents will have to wait a little longer to find out who will become the next mayor. Neither Miami-Dade County Commissioner Eileen Higgins nor former city manager Emilio Gonzalez won the 50% of the vote required to win. The pageant here has been going strong for over a decade here at the University of Miami. And tonight, the former Miss Planet Creole will award the new winner right here on the Coral Gables campus. Longtime Director of Communications, wildlife photographer, and friend of UMTV, Ron McGill, announced his retirement earlier this year. And at the very end, they were judged by not only UM dining members, but also former winners of the event. And hopefully, if I'm lucky enough, I'll be able to try some of the delicious food that was cooked right behind me. Live from the Centennial Dining Hall here at the Slayla Ballroom Center. Live in Coral Gables, live at Zoo Miami for UMTV, I'm Johnny Mustion.
Okay. Leah Moya. Gina Lewis.
It's a regular day here at William J. Bryan Elementary, with students gathering in the cafeteria. But in front of them, 40 wrapped presents. Inside each one, a brand new pair of sneakers, bought specifically for what each child likes.
The gratitude that we get from paying forward shoes to kids is the reason we continue to do it. They need it. We know it. We used to be those kids. So in reciprocation, we're trying to step up and be there for them and be a champion for them.
The Foot Forward Foundation began as a dream of two sneakerheads who wanted to give back to their community. And in Miami-Dade County, where 54% of families with children struggle to make ends meet, that support is more important than ever.
Well, the situation here in South Florida is, the financial situations with the rent going up so much, insurances, food. It's a crisis right now. We help the homeless as well, and we run into people that are newly homeless because their pensions aren't enough to pay rent. So there's a lot of older folks in shelters because they just can't afford to survive here.
One expense is sneakers. Brand new high quality footwear can cost up to $200 per child. But thanks to Foot Forward's efforts, students here are able to lace up some of the hottest sneakers without any cost to their families.
How much do you like your shoes?
Oh, it's a wonderful initiative because I think that a lot of parents are struggling, especially that when we have families with, more than one kid, and it's a big relief.
For many students, low income can lead to low self-esteem and even harassment. In Florida, nearly 25% of students say they experience some form of bullying every week. But today, with new kicks and support from their classmates, these kids are not just getting shoes, they're stepping into a new sense of confidence.
Bullying is at an all-time high, as we see all over the place. And a lot of the times, the only thing that differentiates you is your shoes. So to have a nice pair of sneakers helps you walk with confidence, helps you feel strong, powerful, and like you can take on anything or take on anybody. So that's what we're trying to do.
In the end, what Foot Forward has done best is put a smile on dozens of faces with only some soles and some laces.
Who doesn't like sneakers? All kids like sneakers. And then receiving a brand new pair of sneakers, colorful and everything, believe me, they're going to remember that day for the rest of their lives.
Reporting in North Miami, Johnny Mustion, UMTV. On paper, the Square Bowl, located just outside downtown Fort Lauderdale, is your average spot to get a delicious and convenient meal. However, the food isn't the main focus of the business. It's the staff.
I'm a food associate on the food truck, so that's what I do. And I also have autism too. I've matured a lot, and I can tell it in myself when I look in the mirror in the morning and I'm like, how did I get from such a young child to this, to me being mature and stuff like that.
But it's not just those on the autism spectrum who have an opportunity to work at the Square Bowl. The truck is open to anyone who has a developmental disability for employment. And the reason why is to give individuals from different backgrounds a chance to learn the workforce without fear of judgment.
What we have here is an opportunity for individuals with developmental disabilities to work and have a job and have a career. You may have a developmental disability or part of the neurodiverse population, but we're all the same and there's nothing different.
Now, the truck travels to feed their community and to share their goals, and their impact is felt well beyond the pickup window.
One woman came over to me and said to me, I have a brother that passed away, and how wonderful it would have been that he would have had this opportunity in life. And that's the difference that this makes.
This job also allows for workers in the neurodivergent community to build their skills so that they can continue working, whether it be in the service industry or in something more high profile.
I see them gaining more confidence the more they do, and when you let them go on their own and see how far they can take it, it's pretty interesting.
And for workers like Ariel, it's not just a job. It's a chance to grow and inspire others in similar positions.
Do it. Do it. It's going to be challenging at first, but do it. Because we have good customer service and we have an amazing food and an amazing team running it. So,
and the wonderful thing is, I think the world is ready for this. And if we open our minds and see that we're all the same, we'll accept each other's differences. And I think that goes across the board for anybody.
Inside Easy Peasy Tattoo Shop, the sound of tattoo guns fill the room. But this time, no permanent ink was going on skin. Participants spent the evening learning how to use professional tattoo equipment, practicing on fruit and fake skin, all while drawing inspiration from poetry. The workshop is part of Miami's 15th annual Poetry Festival, an event designed to bring creative expression to communities across South Florida.
Miami is a nomadic poetry festival. We take poetry and community all over Miami-Dade County. We try to reach everyone, which requires us to go everywhere.
This year, organizers wanted to push that creativity even further by blending written language with visual art.
I think it's going to be an easy transition to writing and using this device, and then hopefully people will find lines of poetry that really spark them to go further, maybe read more from that poet or look more into the genre.
Attendees were invited to choose words, lines, and symbols from Miami-based poems, then learn how to etch them in with a tattoo gun.
And here at Easy Peasy Tattoo, even the least talented artists can get their hand on a tattoo needle and on a piece of fruit.
For tattoo artist Julie Rivera, the connection between the two mediums makes perfect sense.
Well, they're both forms of expression. So I think they go hand in hand. Writing and visual arts have always been together. And it is a tattoo pen that we're using today. So I think it makes total sense for poetry and tattooing to kind of flow together. And then we're just gonna take it and we're gonna trace what we have. So you're gonna want
Rivera says giving people a tattoo machine for the first time does more than just spark excitement. It gives them a new appreciation for the craft.
I definitely think people will see other people with tattoos and know what kind of skill level and experience went into creating that tattoo because they've held one in their hands before and they know kind of how hard it is to get a line straight or even get it nice and opaque. So I definitely think it'll inform people on the process of tattooing and the experience level it takes to do.
As Miami closes out another year of celebrating poetry, organizers say events like this prove that verses don't have to live only on a page. They can be spoken, shared, and in this case, inked. Reporting in North Miami, Johnny Mustion, UMTV. The Mahoney Residential College here at the University of Miami was built all the way back in 1958, with its identical neighbor Pearson being finished 4 years later. But soon, they'll be gone. Good evening, I'm Johnny Mustion. Thank you, Emma. Miami-Dade's Operation Greenlight is back, giving drivers a chance to get back on the road legally. The announcement of a 2-week ceasefire in the war in Iran sent oil prices plummeting, but experts say lower prices for everything from gasoline to airfares to produce will not come quickly for consumers. The private entity that handles licenses for the Trump Organization has filed trademark applications for the name of one South Florida airport. 8 skiers have died in a massive avalanche north of Lake Tahoe, making this the deadliest avalanche in California's history. Well, spring break is here, and while most students tend to leave Miami, it's also a big hotspot for tourists.
After years of harsh restrictions, Miami Beach is finally welcoming back tourists for the break.
And Taryn Jacobs is live in Miami Beach with more on what this year's spring break will look like. Taryn? And here in the U.S., drivers will continue to see gas prices fluctuate. If tensions in the Middle East worsen, drivers should expect gas prices to rise over $4 yet again. And Mary, those gas prices have definitely been evident on my morning commute, but what's also been evident has been the amount of rain that we've been getting. Thank you, Lazaro. After weeks of campaigning, the University of Miami has officially selected its new student government representatives for the 2026 year. Some national treasures will soon be a part of a tour all around the country and are even set to make a stop right here in Miami. Well, that's going to be all the time that we have tonight for News Vision. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
We'll be back here next week, same place, same time. Have a great night.